ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إسرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين صدق الله مولانا العظيم. General Sayyid Asim Munir, Nishan-e-Imtiyaz, Chief of the Army Staff, Major General Iftikhar Hassan Chowdhury, Commandant, Pakistan Military Academy, graduating cadets, 151st PMA long course, 70 integrated course, and 25th Lady Cadet course, faculty members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is indeed a matter of great pleasure for me to witness the passing out parade this morning. I congratulate the cadets here today on reaching this important milestone in their careers and commend their outstanding display of skill, agility, and youthful exuberance. I also extend my felicitations to the passing out cadets from friendly countries including Qatar, Iraq, Bangladesh, and Nepal. أخي الكريم طلاب من دولة القطر وعمان، أهلا وسهلا ومبروك جدا. طبعا أنتم ضيوف لكن إخوان من البلاد الإسلامية. I also want to say, and as you all know, it is in our centuries-old tradition to welcome guests with open arms like part of the family, and within no time, strangers become friends for all times to come. My dear cadets, you have earned the honor of joining one of the finest armies in the world. Our armed forces are a symbol of valor, exemplary discipline, and unwavering commitment to the nation. Your journey here at this esteemed academy is only the continuation of a long legacy of your predecessors who crossed oceans in the defense of their faith and belief. Today, you have been transformed into the custodians of the vision of our great Qaid, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and his golden principles of faith, unity, and discipline. So, wear this uniform with pride, for you are part of an elite service, adored by the nation and respected globally for its professionalism and courage. Let this be your driving force as you become the best of the best. Ladies and gentlemen, after a period of economic stagnation, Alhamdulillah, Pakistan is taking bold strides toward visible economic recovery. Although it's a long journey, full of challenges, but inshallah, with your prayers and Allah Almighty's blessings, we will negotiate our way forward with a sense of great vision and commitment. Our efforts are yielding results, achieving significant milestones in attracting foreign investment to key sectors such as mining, energy, agriculture, livestock, IT, and defense production. On the diplomatic front, we have reinvigorated old and time-tested friendships while building new partnerships to expand our global outreach. As a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council for the term 2025-26, Pakistan is fully committed to advancing global peace and security and upholding the UN Charter. In fact, at even and every given opportunity and platform, we have raised our voice in support of the innocent people of Palestine whose demand for a free and sovereign state has been sanctified in numerous UN resolutions. Ladies and gentlemen, Afghanistan is our neighboring country, and it is our earnest desire to live in peace with them for all times to come. Unfortunately, despite our best and sincere efforts, terrorist activities continue to emanate from Afghan territory. In this behalf, we have made lots of efforts. Our Deputy Prime Minister visited Kabul a few days ago, and we shall continue our efforts to have better relations and understanding with our brotherly and neighborly country, Afghanistan. However, we have also delivered a strong and clear message to the interim Afghan government that while we desire peaceful neighborly relations with Kabul, this cannot happen so long as the Afghan soil is being used by Fitna al-Khawarij to attack Pakistanis and kill innocent brothers and sisters in Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, I also need to underscore the importance of Kashmir. As the founder of the nation, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah rightly said, Kashmir is the jugular vein of Pakistan. Unfortunately, this globally recognized dispute remains unresolved. UN resolutions. Let there be no doubt, Pakistan shall continue to support the right of self-determination of the Kashmiri people till they achieve their rights through their great struggle and sacrifices. Ladies and gentlemen, India's systemic persecution of its minorities, particularly Muslims and Sikhs, has become more pervasive over the years. It must accept full responsibility for its complete failure to protect the lives, dignity, and security of these oppressed communities. Pakistan, on the other hand, has always condemned terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. As the world's frontline state, that is Pakistan, against terrorism, we have endured immense loss with our 90,000 casualties and economic losses beyond imagination exceeding $600 billion. Who would understand this searing, excruciating pain better than we Pakistanis? Who has given more human sacrifices than Pakistan to counter terrorism? Which country of the world has suffered more economic losses than Pakistan to the tune of $600 billion to fight and defeat terrorism? I think, ladies and gentlemen, there cannot be a more powerful manifestation of our commitment that we would not tolerate any kind of terrorism of any hue and color. And that has been demonstrated beyond any ray of doubt. On the contrary, our eastern neighbor continues a pattern of exploitation, leveling baseless allegations and false accusations without credible investigation or verifiable evidence. The recent tragedy in Pahalgam is yet another example of this perpetual blame game, which must come to a grinding halt. And now, continuing with its role as a responsible country, Pakistan is open to participate in any neutral, transparent, and credible investigation. Ladies and gentlemen, I must also mention here that water is a vital national interest of Pakistan, our lifeline. And for our 240 million people, let there be no doubt at all, its availability would be safeguarded at all cost and under all circumstances, inshallah. Therefore, any attempt to stop, reduce, or divert the flow of water belonging to Pakistan under the Indus Waters Treaty would be responded to with full force and might, and nobody should remain under any kind of false impression and confusion. Our valiant armed forces remain fully capable and prepared to defend the country's sovereignty and its territorial integrity against any misadventure, as clearly demonstrated by its measured yet resolute response to India's reckless incursion in February 2019. Therefore, I would like to make it clear in all humility, but with fullest confidence at my command, on behalf of the people of Pakistan and our armed forces, that nobody should make any mistake about it. Dear guests, this nation of 240 million people stands united by and behind our brave armed forces and ready to safeguard every inch of our homeland, Pakistan. And let this message be loud and clear for all and sundry. Peace is our preference, but must not be construed as our weakness. We will and we shall never compromise on our dignity and security of our beloved Pakistan. We also affirm Pakistan's unwavering commitment to playing a responsible and constructive role on the global stage. In the pursuit of this mission, we have not wavered, as we believe in the unity of the human race. Dear cadets, this morning as you go forth with dignity, honor, and resolve to join the officers' cadre, please always keep in mind that your primary obligation for the rest of your lives would be to safeguard your motherland, Pakistan. Therefore, prepare yourself exceedingly well and train your men and women to undertake this task with unwavering commitment. I am confident that through the strength of your character and impeccable display of commitment, you will continue to uphold the traditions of your glorious institution. Finally, I would like to submit, खूने दिल दे के निखारेंगे रुखे बरगे गुलाब, खूने दिल दे के निखारेंगे रुखे बरगे गुलाब, हमने गुलशन के तहफ़्फ़ुज़ की कसम खाई है।